Serious. If you had taken your life 1 year ago, what beautiful things would you have had missed out on? 3.5 months ago, I loaded some camping gear onto the back of my bicycle and left my home in Wisconsin with the vague goal of getting to Seattle and heading down the Pacific coast. 104 days and 4,000 miles later, I have seen some absolutely beautiful parts of the country. I've learned a ton about myself and grown as a person. And most importantly, I have seen time and time again the overwhelming kindness of the world we live in. I don't know what it is about it, but for some reason, traveling by bicycle just brings out the absolute best in everyone I meet. From the unending generosity of the people who have opened their homes to me, providing my shower and bed, food and their wonderful company over dinner, to the drivers who saw me stopped on the side of the desolate Wyoming roads and pulled up to offer an extra water bottle when I was a million miles from a gas station soda dispenser. Everybody wants to be a positive part of my story. In this day and age, we seem to focus way too much on the hate in the world. But thankfully, the hateful among us are nothing more than a vocal minority. I deeply believe that this world we share is a kind one, and that we all want the best for each other. And that, to me, is far more beautiful than the mountains of Montana or a sunset over the Pacific Ocean. Are you okay? By the way, the title is concerningly specific. What with you mentioning suicide in particular and not more generally just dying? That's absolutely wild and I wish I could do that someday. Please share some stories of your journey. Who did you meet? How, where did you eat and sleep? Were you ever worried for your safety? Did anyone know where you were, or was this a finding yourself kind of journey? Yes, please, some stories would be amazing. Would you ever consider writing a book about your experiences? I've been considering it. Yeah, I have a journal with me that I write in several times a day, so there's certainly the possibility to flesh that out into a proper book someday. I never considered myself a particularly good writer, but a lot of my loved ones back home, when I post stories on Facebook, say I've got a gift for it, so maybe someday. Wow, this hit me really hard. My daughter attempted suicide on the 18th of December, 2018. It literally does change everything. The thought of having to live without her is unfathomable. Every single day since then has been beautiful, a gift. Even the bad days, and there have been quite a few, all beautiful. This comment brought my mindless scrolling to a screeching halt. I apologize in advance for using your post to get this out, but this hits too close to home for me to resist the urge to share. The 18th of December, 2018, was my 22nd birthday. I planned to take my life that day, not entirely sure why I chose that day, but after a few failed attempts over the years, I firmly believe that I would have been successful. I woke up that morning feeling off, called out of work, stayed in bed. Something in me told me to take a pregnancy test. I to this day cannot understand how or why my brain came up with that, but I did it. I am now, almost a full year later, typing this comment while laying in bed with my baby and the love of my life. It gives me full body chills to think about. I avoid revisiting the mental space that day resides in. 99% of the time I would have missed building a life that only existed in my most far-fetched dreams. We bought our dream house. My so took an amazing job opportunity that basically fell from the sky. I'm so beyond lucky to be staying home and raising the most magical little human I've ever met. I found purpose, I found peace, I felt true love and happiness that I never believed existed. My son saved my life. I never believed recovery stories or it gets better statements until mine became one. I'm so beyond thrilled that your daughter is still here. You sound like a wonderful parent, and I wish you both the best again. Apologies for the vent post. It's blowing my mind to know that somewhere out there in the world, someone was going through the same dark place that I was, and that they are also still with us today. Give her a hug for me, if that's her sort of thing, and let her know that a random internet stranger is cheering for her. Reddit tag. Thank you for silver. Kind stranger, not a huge Reddit user, so I kinda just fired this comment off into the void to get it off my chest. I didn't expect it to hit home for so many people. My graduation and seeing my mom being proud of me. Edit. Thank you, kind strangers, for my very first awards. I really gotta tell my mom about this. Haha. Congrats. Thank you. I actually thought about killing myself 2 years ago and my list of things is longer, but this is still the first one on my mind. Days like these make me so happy that I didn't pull the trigger and miss out on this. Gostamine. After years of hard work, multiple failures, and lots of persistence. I have finally been accepted into medical school. Be proud of yourself. That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. Congrats. Heck yes. Get after it, my friend. Hey, would you mind taking a look at this mole? This has been a pretty shit year, but not in a no hope for the future sense. Parents have been ill, work has sucked, and an ex who I'm still on friendly terms with had an awful family tragedy. I wouldn't have missed much yet, but I'd miss out on the better times to come. It sounds like there were a lot of people for you to support, and being able to do that is beautiful. Awful, but beautiful. Thanks, mate. My brother did, last June. And he missed out on Kingdom Hearts 3, the next entry in his favorite video game franchise that he waited for since 2006. I bought it and I played it on his behalf, but I suck at it. My brother was also a massive Toronto Raptors and basketball fan, and my mother and I watched the finals and had no idea what to feel when they won. That's the stuff that really gets you. The stuff you knew your loved one would have shit their pants with excitement on. My advice for anyone going through depression: you can always die later. You are going to die someday. The world will make sure of it, so you don't need to take on the anxiety and burden of ending your own life. But you can only live right now, so why not stick around for a few decides and see what happens? Procrastinating death is the best use of the skill. Honestly, nobody can tell you procrastination is a negative quality if it's what keeps you alive. It gives me comfort to know that I don't have to be here or do this forever. It gives me comfort to know that I don't have to take my death into my own hands. I've suffered from depression and crippling anxiety for about 12 years myself. And what keeps me going? It's the little things. I always pick something, anything, to look forward to. A new show or movie, a new game. I follow tennis and enjoy that. Vacations or visits from family members. Family is everything, and the little things that you like make up who you are, and no one can tell you your interests are small or worthless. Because you like them and they make you happy, and that's good enough. So just keep looking for the next thing to look forward to, and hold on tight no matter how strong the winds of depression become. Don't let go. You can weather the storm as long as you maintain hope that tomorrow can be better than today. My brother killed himself in 2004 when he was 23 and I was 21. It still hurts when a Fast and Furious movie comes out, or a song by one of the bands he loved. I find different ways to remember him, like always getting a cake and a present for my mom on his birthday, and it honestly helps. Good luck to you. I'm so sorry for your loss. What a sweet way to remember him. Hugs. Exactly what you mean. My brother, 17. Passed the year before, 2017. There's so much stupid shit that I want to share with him, like the second season of One Punch Man. But also big things like my wedding. I keep watching the things he would love to keep him as an active part of my life. My heart goes out to you. It doesn't matter if you suck at the game, it's the journey that matters. Red Heart Card Suit. Edit. Thank you for the rewards, kind strangers. Just remind everyone to enjoy the little things. They become the big things, and be kind to yourself. 3 months ago my now ex-fiancé broke up with me, and I was suicidally depressed. Since then, I went to Galaxy's Edge for the first time and cried real tears. I styled and photographed my mom for a high fashion advanced style shoot, and we are both incredibly proud of the end result. A good friend of mine wrote me a heartfelt letter and gave me an amazing care package to help me through the breakup. I celebrated my birthday with a tea party in a 1920s atrium. I took a long distance friend on a date, with the possibility of a second one soon. I've taken up yoga and finally, truly tackled my binge eating disorder. Honestly, I'm not sure that's even half of it, and that's just 3 months. I'm really glad, and that's putting it mildly, that I didn't give in to the feelings of shame and failure and the depressive thought. It always gets better, man. You have a lot of great things going for you, and it seems a lot of closely knit people who care about you. Also, that tea party bit sounds fucking sweet and I envy you. I took my son to the state fair. I took him on his first ride on the Tilt-A-Whirl. It's my favorite ride. We giggled and screamed and laughed. We did it again 4 times. We had our caricatures drawn together. He told me it was the best day. I really loved it. I took my son to his first state fair this year too. his first rides, and he got to pet farm animals. Fun day. You guys are awesome dads, being there for your children's childhood. Or moms. Unless I missed something. LOL, it's always nice to see good parents at work. Hey, that's okay. I read this question and really, there isn't anything major that sprung to mind. Even the trips I was forced to take were just okay. I don't like traveling, but it's okay. The only thing I can report for this is the passage of time. Everyday moments with my family and partner, and the realization that I am slowly healing from my father's passing. We can be happy with simple things, small things, even if it's just the changing of the seasons. It can come every year without fail and look just about the same, but it's still really cool. Edit. I didn't expect the responses to this comment when I posted it. I really hope you all know that you matter and that even if life sucks, you can at least hope for a better tomorrow. You don't know what it will bring. Everyone keeps thanking me for this comment when I honestly want to thank everyone that even bothered to respond, because it really made my day to know I could actually make people feel a bit hopeful or brighten even a single moment in their lives. I think that's probably one of the greatest things we can try to do for each other. Life can be cruel and unfair and people unintentionally hurtful. Bringing someone a little comfort and happiness, even from behind a keyboard, is no small featuring. This comment brought me a lot of peace. Thank you. Genuinely glad it did. Take it easy and be kind to yourself and others. I knew my life was over when I had nothing to look forward to in summer and fall anymore. It was over the summer before my sophomore year of high school, but it took me over a decade to realize that this is where my life ended. When I finished my freshman year, I felt like I had a life. By Christmas of that year, my life was essentially over and I've had nothing at all good in my life since. Summer before that used to be beautiful and amazing, and I had fun and friends and family and sports and beautiful memories. After, there was nothing, and I spent every summer since alone with no one wanting anything to do with me. It used to feel so beautiful and bittersweet when I was a kid growing up, having an amazing summer, having to say goodbye, and then starting another year and chapter of my life in the fall when school started. It was like a whole new beginning with excitement and new people, places, and things, and I'll never forget that crisp fall air that heralded the end of summer and the beginning of the fall. I used to love those Fridays after school let out where everybody just sort of knew and felt that they were going to have fun with friends and sports on the weekend. I used to love getting out of school and just watching the leaves be swept by the wind all over the place. Now as an adult with childhood and the happy days of my life firmly in my rearview, I come close to crying during those limited days in fall when the leaves blow around on lawns and on the streets that I drive up and down. It's the only good and happy feeling and memory I can experience of fall now that I'm older and now that my family, friends, sports, and school are all ruined and or gone for good and horribly tainted in my memory. If and when I kill myself, these days and memories and seasons will probably be what I hate leaving behind the most. That and all the loose ends in my life. Killing yourself is accepting that everything you ever were and ever did never meant anything or much of anything to anybody. At least that's how it is with me. Sitting on the beach or out on the deck at a beach house in the summer, or sitting outside on my porch during the fall and feeling the crisp breeze is so easy each year, but it doesn't make me happy anymore like it used to. Instead, it crushes me with sadness, because in those moments my life is still so bad and I'm so angry beyond words and so doomed. I wish more than anything I could just relive the only good days and moments of my life again when I was a kid and before my whole world was basically destroyed forever at 15 years and 9 months old. That was when my life began to fall off a cliff forever. Hey, I won't pretend I know what you've been through, but I can definitely tell you're in pain. While I haven't experienced what you have, I can relate to some of the feelings. Watching happy moments become fleeting seconds is something I feel deeply. There's an existentialism to that concept that truly paralyzes me with wonder, albeit heart-wrenching. I do want to encourage you. Something that I've learned as an 30-something-year-old is that change is more all-encompassing than we sometimes think. We as humans tend to build our expectations based on what we know. The problem with this is that sometimes what we know is a limited set of data. For example, in my life, a year or so ago I was happily employed as a team leader managing a distributed team of top world development talent taking on Google contracts. I worked from home and had a daughter on the way. In a short turn of events, my company restructured and my job evaporated. Suddenly my outlook on supporting my daughter went from ideal to bleak. My self-worth was bottomed out. I had gone from the top to trash. Just like that. I was almost certain that my career was over and I'd be a worthless father. Turns out, I was wrong. Over time I've changed my employment model to stop depending on big agency whims. I now work half the time for more pay. I'm home with my 1-year daughter most every day. Heck, I've even lost weight. My point is not to fly it in your face that I've been so fortunate. I'm grateful, sure, but my point is to convey that before this turn of events I had no hope. See, just like my situation changed, my hope has too. While your post doesn't make it sound like you have much hope, I want to remind you that even though it doesn't seem like it now, your hope can return to you. Seasons can be beautiful again. Joy can be found again. Sure, the joy you once knew is gone, but that actually has no bearing on whether or not you can experience joy again. In essence, I hope you're also wrong. One other thing that I think might add value here. From my struggle I fought to bring something good into the world. I thought, maybe if I can just do something small and good I'll be able to convince myself I have value. Because of my line of work, I ended up being able to build a very simple app. Something good. I don't gain anything from this app. No ad revenue. No cost. No thieving of data or anything. In fact, it costs me annually. Shrug. This isn't a plug for my app to help me in any way. I only bring it up because it might help you. I hope it helps you find even a tiny piece of joy each day. Like the flowers in spring. Growth starts tiny. I never want to be assuming, but someone once told me that the suicide hotline is not just for people who are trying to kill themselves. It's actually a resource for helping people recover their lives, not just recover from trying to kill themselves. If you even have a time when you just want someone to hear you out, they've got you covered. 1-800-273-8255. I hope you find joy again.